Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Ever since Triple H took control of WWE's creative, fans have appreciated his long-term storytelling. However, of late, there has been growing discontent among fans, especially on social media, regarding certain booking and creative decisions. John Cena's heel turn failed to catch fire until he feuded with CM Punk, while the tag team division, especially on Raw, remains underutilized. There have also been concerns over the same faces getting booked in the main event picture, especially in the women's division. One vocal critic of Triple H's creative direction has been former WWE writer Vince Russo. It's no secret that Russo hasn't been a fan of the game's booking. Earlier this year, he described his booking style as repetitive and stretched out to nausea while speaking on the Hannibal TV. Now, in another dig at WWE's creative direction, Russo has labeled Triple H as a total wrestling mark, while also not sparing AEW owner Tony Khan in a tweet. Vince McMahon's booking had seen WWE scale enormous heights and create larger-than-life stars, but it was regarded that, toward the end of his creative control, McMahon had lost touch with the product. Triple H stepped into WWE's creative office officially in 2022 and has since mostly garnered praise for his bookings. However, the recent dissatisfaction among a section of fans represents a challenge that he will have to overcome. However, the question is, will he get a chance to do so? According to Russo, the cerebral assassin's days in WWE could be numbered. With The Rock part of the TKO board, Vince Russo believes it is only a matter of time before the Brahma Bull takes the reins from Triple H. Russo cited The Rock's connections with the board as a reason why they could be eager to have him over, and that might spell the end of Triple H's tenure. While there have been no reports regarding the future of the game in WWE, TKO might be eager to give him the time to steady the ship in the immediate future. Failure to do so could lead the board to take drastic decisions, as Russo suggested. Shergill Malik is a writer at Sportskeeda and covers pro wrestling. He was hooked on the product from the moment he saw the Hardy Boys jumping off ladders during the Attitude Era. While he comes from an engineering background, Shergill's love for pro wrestling and content writing led him to pursue a career in sports journalism. Before assuming his current role at Sportskeeda, Shergill worked at other reputable organizations for 5 years. While writing articles, he ensures that he only relies on credible sources for information and covers relevant subjects that do not project an agenda against a particular person or association. WWE legend Paul Heyman once shared Shergill's work on his social media handle. Shergill's earliest memory of pro wrestling is watching Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker square off for the WWE title in the main event of a pay-per-view in 1998. His favorite wrestlers are Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy. While he admires Orton for his character work as a heel, he looks up to Jeff because of his unique wrestling style and risk-taking ability. If he could go back to the Attitude Era, Shergill would like to manage Ken Shamrock and be his mouthpiece. He feels Shamrock's promo skills prevented him from becoming a main event-level act in WWE. Hence, he would like to help the UFC Hall of Famer get over with fans. In the ever-turning wheel of professional wrestling, respect and reputation often come with a price, and sometimes with a mic-drop moment of brutal honesty. This week, the WWE Universe was thrown into a whirlwind of controversy when a former WWE talent took to a podcast to label none other than Paul Triple H Levesque as a total wrestling mark. The comment, casually delivered but heavily loaded, came during an episode of the Bumps and Bruises podcast, hosted by former tag team specialist and occasional mid-card comedy act, Max "Madman" Mercer, a name not heard loudly in wrestling circles since his unceremonious release in 2015. Though Mercer never held a major championship, he has developed a niche following through his candid storytelling and no-filter commentary on the state of the wrestling industry. When the topic turned to the current WWE product under Triple H's creative leadership, Mercer didn't mince words. "You know what? I'll say it," Mercer grinned. "Triple H, and I mean this in the most ironic, backhanded, sort of respectful way. He's a total wrestling mark. The dude lives and breathes it. But sometimes, that's the problem. The comment immediately ignited social media, dividing fans, wrestlers, and analysts alike. But was Mercer's hot take really an insult, or a compliment dressed in snark? To the uninitiated, calling someone a mark in wrestling is akin to saying they bought into their own delusion. Traditionally, a mark was a fan who believed professional wrestling was 100% real. The storylines, the rivalries, the outcomes, all unscripted and legitimate. In today's smarter, more self-aware wrestling landscape, the term has evolved. Being called a mark now often implies an obsessive love for the business, sometimes to the point of losing objectivity. The evidence is overwhelming. From a teenage bodybuilding enthusiast sneaking into wrestling gyms in New Hampshire to one of the longest-tenured world champions, and now the man shaping the creative direction of the entire WWE product. Triple H has immersed himself in the industry at every level. He's a student of the game, said commentator Corey Graves during a Raw segment last month. There's no one who reveres the art of wrestling more than Triple H. That reverence has led to decisions that fans adore, such as bringing back hard-hitting storytelling, in-ring psychology, and spotlighting long-neglected talents. But according to Mercer, that same reverence can sometimes cloud the bigger picture. Look, I respect Hunter. I do. But when your creative choices look like an Attitude-era mixtape, when you're trying to push work rate over spectacle in a company built on spectacle, you've got to ask, is this about the fans? Or is this about fulfilling your childhood fantasy booking diary from 1989? The jab wasn't lost on longtime viewers who've seen Triple H's fingerprints across modern WWE programming. Under his leadership, wrestlers once relegated to NXT or undercard status have been reintroduced to the main roster with renewed vigor. Stars like Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, and Finn Balor have seen increased television time. The Intercontinental and United States titles have regained prestige. There are longer matches, fewer disqualifications, and promos that feel more organic. Triple H is undeniably passionate. He's built a world where wrestling in its purest form is front and center. But WWE isn't a wrestling promotion, it's a sports entertainment empire. That's where the conflict arises. When the architect is a fan, the structure might not always hold. On Reddit's Squared Circle forum, a trending thread titled Triple H a Mark? Good. We need more of them. Garnered over 10,000 upvotes in 24 hours. Comments ranged from admiration to dismay. If loving wrestling makes Triple H a mark, then I want a company full of marks. Give me storytelling and ring psychology over neon slime matches and celebrity gimmicks. Triple H is trying to turn WWE into black and gold NXT again. That's not what millions of casual fans tune in for. Mercer might be bitter, but he's not wrong. Twitter was no less forgiving. Hashtags like #TripleMark, #Markgate, and #LetHunterCook began trending, with gifs of HHH in suits of armor, and even literal comic book, Mark speech bubbles going viral. As the firestorm grew, all eyes turned to Triple H, who addressed the comments subtly, and perhaps a little cheekily, during a backstage WWE exclusive. If loving this business makes me a mark, then I guess I'm guilty as charged. I've been a mark since I was 5 years old watching Harley Race and Ric Flair. I'll die a mark. And I'll build the best damn wrestling product I can. For marks like me. That soundbite was clipped, gifted, and made into a t-shirt on WWE Shop within 24 hours. Guilty as charged. Total Wrestling Mark is now a top seller. So, is being a mark a bad thing? In an industry built on illusion, passion, and performance, the term mark may be evolving. In the hands of someone like Triple H, who blends nostalgia, discipline, and vision, it might not be an insult at all. Max Mercer may have meant to provoke or poke fun, but in doing so, he helped spotlight something larger, a man whose love for wrestling has become both his guiding light and his burden. Triple H may indeed be a total wrestling mark, but maybe that's exactly what WWE needs. As the crowd chants, "This is awesome," at sold-out PLEs, as storytelling deepens and new stars rise, one thing is clear: when a mark runs the show, the magic just might return.